Well, hello again. If you've been in the art community for even a second, you might be familiar with the 10 art style challenge, or the 20 art style challenge, or just like any number of art style challenge that you can think of. And I've done this before in the past, but very fortunately, I can't find any pictures of it, so you might just need to like take my word for it. But if it wasn't obvious, today I'm going back again into this challenge, and I'll be drawing my OC Lilith in 10 different art styles. And these art styles will consist of both artists I look up to and media that I've enjoyed recently, and also media that I've enjoyed some time ago, whether it be 2 years ago or 5 years ago. So, enough talking, and let's get right into the first art style for today's challenge, even though I guess it's technically not the first art style at the same time, because I'm doing the control, and this will just be my art style, and it will just create a way for me to compare the art styles just in general. So, instead of it being the first, I'm going to call this art style 0. Now, with my art style, I don't really know what to say about it. I've asked some friends and I've gotten things on how the color palettes that I use flow well together, and I've been told I'm really good at drawing hair, and I was also told to just simplify it as "F it, I ball." Like, I'm really bad at explaining my art style, but I can go over a little bit of my basic history with art. So, I've been drawing for almost 10 years of my life so far, which is kind of like half of my life because I'm turning 20 next month. But I really got into drawing in middle school, and like every artist in middle school, I was heavily influenced by anime and video games, and a decent chunk of my art came from humanizing Five Nights at Freddy's characters. If you've been like on my Instagram enough, I think you would know that very well. So, over the years, I developed my own unique art style, and I went from anime to like copying YouTube tutorials. Well, more so, I did the copying YouTube tutorials and then having that like basic anime style, and then I took just inspiration from a lot of places and I developed my own style. And I do try to lean a little bit more in the realistic side with body proportions. And something also apparent with how I draw, at least for my digital pieces, I color them the same way I would color a traditional drawing. And I think it's just the sense of control is what like I really like about it, because sometimes when you use like a fill bucket tool, it could be like a little weird and it won't get like every single pixel, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. And I've just been doing that for a long time. So I think habits like that are just like hard to break. And with that being said, I do sometimes wonder if some people that watch my videos hate the way I color my digital stuff, and I kind of just don't care. But I mean, it would be funny if I got like some comments being like, "You color art weird in your digital stuff," and I'm just like, I don't care. That's just how I've been doing it all my life. But anyways, if you don't like the way I do it, then just don't watch me. Like, there's one traditional art video that you can watch where I don't do that because I'm using like traditional media, but that really doesn't matter. But anyways, a few more things to note about this piece in general. I gave Lilith's eyes a purple glow in my own art style, and it isn't there in any other style I drew because I kind of just forgot about it, and I really don't feel like going back and fixing it because I'm kind of over this challenge now because all these drawings are done at the time of recording this. So, but anyways, something else is that I did simplify her hair in some art styles because I feel like it would just be a little harder to do like her actual like full hairstyle with like the big amount of hair that she has. And sometimes when I design characters, their hairstyles can be a little unrealistic, but if I can make a doll version of Lilith and I can make that hair work, I think her hair is not unrealistic. Um but then again, I could just be tooting my own horn. But anyways, it will sometimes look like that she doesn't have as much hair as she actually does. And with that, I think art style 0 is complete, and we are going to be moving on to the actual first art style of today's video. So the first art style I actually attempted was LavenderTowne on YouTube, and I've been following her for a while, like back when I really got into making art, and I love the big eyes that she draws, and I honestly just love the way she draws faces in general. I feel like they're just so cartoony and like expressive, and I just love it. And I really fell in love with the videos of her making human designs for like not so human characters or just like random objects in general. And when sending friends like these drawings and stuff during this whole process, one of my friends, like he absolutely loved this art style and he thinks I really did a good job replicating her style. And I mean like I kind of hope I did. You know, that was kind of the point of the challenge. And honestly, this might have been one of the most fun ones to draw because this was my very first drawing I did, and I feel like this one is really just true to her art style. And when doing this challenge, I tried to make it seem like the actual artists could have drawn Lilith themselves. And yes, I'm still going to be coloring every single piece the exact same way I color my normal stuff. And we've already been over this, okay? We've already been over this with my art style, so it just carries on, you know, it just lingers. So my absolute favorite part of drawing the style, and with really every style after this, is the face. And I know it's kind of obvious given that I'm not doing full bodies, which was more of a lazy choice on my part, but sometimes you can really tell the artist's art style with the faces, and I feel like because the faces are what attracts you the most, at least when drawing like human like characters. And honestly, this is not going to be that long, and I think that's all I have to say. I'm really bad at talking a lot, so I just hope I did Haley's art style justice, and I guess now it's time to go on to the second art style. The second art style we have today is Arcane. Releasing in 2021, Arcane tells the stories of popular champions from the 2009 game League of Legends. With 2 complete seasons on Netflix, this series definitely tugged at my heartstrings, and it's a huge inspiration for my OC universe that are currently in production. And I don't know why I said it like I made it sound like I'm making like a whole movie right now, but it's just I'm just pulling inspiration from Arcane in like the Chambers universe, which is the universe that has Lilith. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll make like a separate video on that one day. But anyways, I love Arcane and I desperately want another season, even though it won't happen no matter how much I like dream about it every night. But this art style was honestly very intimidating because I'm taking references from 3D models and putting it onto a 2D canvas, even though I think when making Arcane, I think they painted the 3D models in like a 2D way. I don't know how that worked, but there's something going on there that don't I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, anyways, when looking into this art style, I did mostly use Jinx for reference, which is kind of funny because I feel like if Lilith were to be in the Arcane universe, she definitely would be a topsider. And like I mentioned before, with this art style, I simplified her hair because I feel like it might have been harder to draw her actual hairstyle. Also because I would have like I think I'll have like a harder time finding references for like laid down hair because I don't think any characters that come to mind have like really like hair that's like down, maybe except like Victor in the second season, but whatever. I'm I'm actually quite impressed with how she turned out in this art style. I completely thought it would have been so much worse and so much more trouble than it actually was. And I love every style I drew in today, but I think this one is my personal favorite. And that doesn't mean I hate all the other drawings in this video. I love all of them equally. I don't know. Can you say you love all of them equally while saying that you have a favorite? Okay, I don't think that's how that works. But I love Arcane. I can't wait to see what comes next, honestly. Like, I think we're getting a series with Noxus. That would be kind of cool. I don't really remember though, because kind of after Arcane, I kind of stopped looking into next projects coming up. And I don't dare ever touch League of Legends. I have zero interest in playing it. But Yeah, no, I really like Arcane and I can't wait to see what happens next. And I know I just said that. I really repeat myself a lot. Okay, enough repeating. Let's just get into the next drawing. Our third art style of the day is Monster High, specifically Generation 1, mainly because that's the generation I grew up with, and I'm not a big fan of the actual, like, art style of Generation 3. I like the designs, like, I like a lot of the designs, but the style for, like, it's just not I just don't like the style. Anyways, for my references, I looked at Laguna because of her hair, and both Claudine and Draculaura for the pointy ears and the fangs, because I have a little update on Lilith. She's now a vampire and demon hybrid. Um, I don't know why. I mean, I know why I changed it, because I was texting my friend one day, and I was like, what if there's an AU where Wimfdrop and Lilith are, like, one of them are vampires, but then I was like, oh my god, let's have Lilith be an actual vampire instead, like, in the actual universe. So, yeah, and it just adds, like, some diversity to the council? Yes, the council. I was about to say the cast. Anyways, it adds more diversity to the council. But, anyways, and I have another fun fact, actually, about my Lilith doll. Although the doll, like the body base for the doll was, Ever After High, I did use a Claudine head from Generation 1 for her, for the head. And I took the ears, like the wolf ears on Claudine's head, and I just cut them off, put them on the side to make her little pointy ears. So that's kind of cool, little fun fact about that. For the art style, I think it was the most nostalgic feeling one, because I've been collecting Monster High dolls since I was a kid, and I still have like a decent amount of them now. Just like the most of them are just like in a storage bin in the garage though, but some of them have seen the light. Some dolls have seen the light, and they're now displayed on my bookshelf with my Generation 3 dolls, and I actually have like 2 of them on my desk right now, because I do need to like clean them and like detangle the hair. But anyways, some of them have also been sacrificed for doll customizing, and as of right now I'm working on a custom doll of my OC Laverne, and I have like her outfit and everything made. I need to remake like one of her like socks or whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is not the video for that. I keep getting so distracted and so sidetracked. But I love how Lilith turned out in this art style, and I feel like she would fit perfectly in the Monster High universe, really, without like changing much of her character. She's already like a monster in a way. I'm not in a way, she's quite literally a monster. So I think it just works out. It all just works out. I'm amazing at picking art styles. I know what I'm doing, and I'm a professional, okay? I'm not a professional. All of that was false. Okay. Anyways, I'm getting too sidetracked. So let's head over to the next art style. The fourth art style is from a game I haven't really given attention to in about 4 years, and that is Danganronpa. Danganronpa is a 2010 murder mystery game developed mainly by Spike Chunsoft, and later given a animation adaptation in 2013 for the first game Trigger Happy Havoc. The only character I really referenced for this drawing was Junko, specifically in the game, like the sprite version of her. I mean, I would have loved to do like the full illustration style with all the cool rendering, but I didn't like think about that until I was like well done with this drawing. And I mean, it still, obviously it still looks like it's like Danganronpa. Like, it's like, I feel like Danganronpa has like a specific art style. I mean, like, I don't even remember the actual creator's name, like the actual artist's name. I do not remember, and I apologize for that. But like, it's just like, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's Danganronpa. You know. So I just, yeah. With the universe, I feel like Lilith would probably be like something like the ultimate vampire princess, like like really just giving Sonya a run for her money, honestly. But would she ever kill somebody? I feel like she would kill someone for the motive of like power. Um or like, even better, I feel like she would probably like manipulate somebody to kill them, to kill someone else, so there won't be like any blood on her hands. And honestly, I think that's real queen shit right there. That's girl boss behavior, and I love her for that. Honestly, I love that. I love that she can do that. And I hope, just to make it like completely clear, I was joking. That's not a good thing. Don't manipulate people. That's not a good thing. I'm just trying to be funny and I'm failing spectacularly, but we don't talk about that. But anyways, I I haven't like really touched Danganronpa in a while. I mean, I think it would be nice to like go back to it, but also the fan base sometimes can be very toxic. So I don't know if I'll get back to it anytime soon. I mean, whenever I was like fully getting like really into Danganronpa, I did watch a lot of Cub Scouts. I watched Jay play all 3 games, even though I already knew the first game very well. Because fun fact, I actually watched the animation before looking at like the actual game. But anyways, Danganronpa, it's still pretty good. It's like, it's in my heart still. I still like it. I still like the games and stuff, you know, ignoring all of the like ignoring just like the whole fan base. But anyways, next art style, just let's just go. I'm like really starting to lose it with these voiceovers. I'm on to art style 5 now, which is the Peach Riot style. When looking into this style, I really just kind of looked at Libby Frame's Instagram account, who actually is the creator of Peach Riot, and I first got introduced to Peach Riot through Pop Mart and like their like figure blind boxes, which I did buy 2. I bought 2 of them, and I got Poppy and Frankie, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. You know, I still need to get Gigi, but you know, I'm kind of scared now getting doubles because I mean, I wasn't gonna spend like $100 getting the whole set. That's a little insane, but I mean, I do have a job now, so maybe one day. But anyways, I'm just trying to like not get my bank account like, I'm not trying to like drain it. So, I'm also just trying to fill up any space I can with figures. Like, I'm like running out of space, but it doesn't matter. I always find a space, so it's fine. So at the time of drawing this one and the one after, I was just kind of just cranking out sketch after sketch, getting like 3 drawings done and like all recorded in one day, which is a little surprising given that I do get distracted easily, like you've probably seen throughout the video. And I just love the simple shapes of this art style. It kind of turned I I don't know how to explain this without sounding mean. I kind of like turned my brain off doing like the colors and rendering, only because there wasn't much like rendering to do. And I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing, you know? Sometimes you just need to like have those types of drawings where you can just like vibe and listen to some music, or like a random YouTube analysis video about like something like really disturbing. And I mean, like, I do that all the time. I listen to a lot of disturbing stuff on YouTube, which I'm not going to go into further detail here. I am perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I just find some of this stuff interesting, and sometimes I just need noise. But anyways, I fall into like really weird rabbit holes. This art style was definitely fun to do, and I got told that Lilith looks like she'd actually be like a figure in my collection with this art style, and that honestly, I was really just hoping that I was able to pull off this art style well, and just based off of like what people have said so far, like my friends and stuff, I think I'm like doing really good. So yeah, so there's the Peach Riot slash Libby Frame art style, and who knows, maybe she'll see it one day, like whenever I actually get around to like posting this stuff. And if she does, I'm gonna freak out. I'm just gonna freak out, just normal small artist things, just freaking out over like big creators seeing your stuff, which is pretty cool. Okay, now we're on to the next art style, which, if I'm not mistaken, I am now over halfway done with these yes, with these drawings. There we go. With these drawings and with this video as a whole. So it's time to lock in. With the second half of this art style, we are on style 6, and that is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Coming out in 2022 on Netflix, this is another series that made me cry. And I really don't know what's with these shows on Netflix just making me cry like a little bitch. But we it's a thing, it's a thing, and I'm just very emotional. So, when looking at references, I was mainly looking at Lucy and Rebecca because I don't know. I like their designs. I actually have a Lucy figure, but yeah, I mean, I know Rebecca like isn't the best character, but her design is honestly really cute. And once again, I did simplify her hair and I gave her like the cyberware lines on her face and like her body to fit more in with the universe. And I feel like she would try not to take it too far with like the whole cyberware stuff because she cares about her image and but yeah, that's it. She just cares about her image. There's sirens outside. I don't know if those are gonna get picked up. Anyways, but I will keep talking. Like I said, she cares too much about her image, but who knows? Maybe one day she'll go cyber psycho. I don't know. I don't really have plans to make an AU with Cyberpunk, but who knows? Maybe I can make an AU with Lilith and Cyberpunk. Oh my god. There's sirens. Am I keeping this in the video? I think I'm at the point where I don't care what's in the video, but oh my goodness. Anyways, with her eyes, I changed one eye because I think both of them had the spirals in it. Or maybe no. I don't even remember what I drew. Oh my god. Anyways, one of her eyes, I did change it to like a little X pupil type thing in her eye to reference her demon form that has only ever been shown one other time in that reel that I made like a while ago. I don't even know how long it's been, but I definitely don't know much about Cyberpunk besides Edgerunners, and I do want to get more into it because I want to repurpose some characters and make them like into Cyberpunk OCs. So I'll most likely get more into the world and talk to my friend about it because they're really really into Cyberpunk, and I should really watch Edgerunners again so I can like get like a fresh set of eyes on the universe, and I hopefully just won't cry again. That would be kind of sad if I cried again. But like I said, I'm emotional. But anyways, on to the next style. So when I was planning for this challenge, I was kind of having a hard time thinking of other styles. So style 7 is the old cartoon rubber hose style. And for those who don't quite understand what that means, in the late 2010s, this 1920 style came back into popularity with 2017's games Bendy and the Ink Machine and Cuphead. And remember what I said about turning my brain off when I was drawing? Yeah, this is one of those art styles. I could have colored Lilith like how I did all the other drawings and like in her full color scheme and everything, but I really wanted to have this one stand out more with the like black and white only, so I was like strictly staying with black and white like how people used to see like Betty Boop or Steamboat Willie, which I think Steamboat Willie's in the public domain now because isn't there like a horror movie on it, like how they made like a horror movie on Winnie the Pooh like last year or the year before because he was in public domain. It doesn't it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. I'm having a really hard time with these voiceovers. We've reached over 20 minutes of this video now, and this will by far be the longest video I've made so far. So anyways, I do remember seeing some of these types of cartoons when I was very little at my aunt's house, but of course I don't really remember it well, and for the most part I think I was like just like watching it, then I like took a nap and then I woke up and it was gone, like they were like off. I think she had like VHS tapes of them or like something like that. I think that's what, I don't know, I'll have to check with her later. But anyways, with the style, pretty much like with the rest of these styles, I had to kind of guess on like the hair bows besides I think the last art style, or I don't even remember. I don't remember my own work right now, but I really had to like guess with the hair bows except for like one. And of course my art style, I already knew how to like draw Lilith's hair bows. Okay. I'm just focusing too hard on hair bows. And even though I was running out of ideas when I was planning for this challenge, I'm still really happy with how this one turned out. And I'm happy I didn't go through with my idea of like swapping this one out with another art style. And honestly, I don't even know like what art style I would have changed it with. So anyways, next art style is gonna be kind of personal. So let's get ready for that. So style 8, we're gonna be getting just a little bit more emotional here. So style 8, I did my best friend's art style, and of course I'm talking about Prince. And of course Prince isn't a stranger here, and they've actually drawn Lilith before, and deep down I kind of just wanted to slap that drawing on the screen and just claim it as my own, but I'm better than that, and that isn't nice, and that was 100% a joke. I would never claim someone's art to be my own. So, with her art style, I was quite nervous about it because up until this point, I tried my hand at art styles that have like a lower chance of the creators noticing it once this art gets out there. But Prince, hell no. I was literally sending them every single piece when I was drawing them and once they were completed. So when it came time for their art style, I was super nervous. But the good news is that they loved it and they love how it turned out, and I'm extremely happy about it. I've known Prince since middle school, and they were actually the one that got me back into drawing, for those who didn't know. Even though I don't think I ever mentioned that. And I'll always be forever grateful for them. And I'm excited to see what projects we tackle in the future. And I also really appreciate all of the artwork they sent me to use as reference. I just love I love every piece of art they make, and I'm so happy that we're still friends after like a bunch of years, and we are creating universes together, and it's just so much fun. And now with all the mushy stuff out of the way, let me tell you something that actually annoyed me. Using that damn pencil brush for the inking was like giving me hell. It was so annoying to deal with, and at one point I did try to darken the line work on the eyes, but I really wanted to keep it true to their style, so I only used the pencil brush for the line work, even though like they weren't like the solid black lines that I always use. But anyways, besides that, I really enjoyed doing this and showing them like this artwork and like just giving them as much love as I can. They are like one of my best friends, and I'm happy that they're still on this journey with me and like this art journey, and I hope they stick around for a while because we're gonna be going through it together. Our second to last art style for today is Doki Doki Literature Club. Coming out in 2017, DDLC is a visual novel style game with a twist of psychological horror, and it later came out as DDLC Plus in 2021, which added some extra content, and I think it revamped the story a little bit if I'm not mistaken. And I was once again intimidated by this, but this time it was because of the hair and the eyes. And honestly, I think the eyes look fine, but I feel like I really could have done better with the hair. I was also planning to put Lilith in like the actual school, the school uniform that the characters wear, but I was a little tired at this point and I wanted to get this challenge done, so I just kept her in her main dress that she wears. And honestly, it just stays consistent with like the whole drawing anyway, with like the whole like series of drawings anyways. And I really did like Doki Doki Literature Club, even though I might have deleted the game after the first major event because I got like a little freaked out. So I still love the horror part of the game, and I was able to enjoy it from a distance in my own bed on my phone screen. Maybe I should revisit the game again, and maybe you'll see some new art from me if I do. And as for Lilith being in the universe, I honestly think she would fit into Natsuki's role the best, and does that mean that maybe she'll get the same fate as her? That that can be up for your interpretation. Like, if you want her to end up like her, go ahead. Honestly, if I could get some like art of that, I think I might just do it myself. Honestly, that would be so interesting. Anyways, but yeah, so there's the ninth style. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Oh my god, we're almost done. I'm so happy. Alright, last but not least, our 10th art style for this challenge today is Miss Freaky, who is the creator of the webcomic Homesick on Webtoon. So I started reading Homesick sometime last year, and I've completely fallen in love with the art style and the characters and just like the story in general. She has honestly been part of my motivation to keep going with story writing and eventually comic making. When taking a look at her art on Instagram, I kept in mind how purple is the reoccurring color in like almost all of her artwork, and that led me to change the line work color to like a really, really dark purple. And at the end, I did a whole overlay of purple on Lilith that you will wind up seeing. I did a little spoiler alert for my drawing, wow. And once again, I gave Lilith the simplified hairstyle just out of plain laziness at that point. Over the course of the week, I've drawn the same character 10 times, and I mean, I'm not trying to complain too much because I decided to do this challenge, and I honestly just love drawing Lilith, and I really do like how this one turned out, you know. And again, if she winds up seeing this artwork, I'm going to freak out. But now on to the universe of Homesick. I don't know how well Lilith would fit in it, but given her controlling nature and always wanting to be on top and liked by everyone, I feel like she would be anti-Merc. So maybe I don't know if she would do well though. I still don't know if she would do well in like the apocalypse, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can think about it more later. So I do honestly highly recommend Homesick on Webtoon. It's really really nice. I love it. I did cry recently at one of the recent episodes, but it's a great read. I love the characters. I love the story. And yeah. So there's our 10th art style for the day. Oh my god. I'm so happy I'm done. I'm so happy I'm done, and this was really fun to do. So what did we learn from this today? The only thing I kind of learned is that Lilith can look good in any art style she's put into. I honestly wasn't even going to draw Lilith for this challenge until Prince helped me decide which OCs to draw, and maybe I can come back to this challenge again and use the other OC that I was going to draw for this one. And I'm not going to tell you who it is though, because I don't know. Because what if I actually don't draw them next time? Now watch, I'll say the character's name and then I won't draw them, but that's why I'm not saying it. So now speaking of this challenge as a whole, I did have fun doing this, and it was still challenging even though I had moments where it was just smooth sailing. And to add on to that, however, there are some parts and some styles that I feel like I could have done better with, but this was my first time trying my hand at some of these, if not all of these art styles. So maybe there's some room for improvement. Maybe I can like do more studies of certain art styles. And with that all being said, let me know your thoughts on how I did. Is there maybe a favorite style that I did that you liked? I don't know. Do you have a favorite? Do you not have a favorite? Do you think all of the art styles look awful? And if you think that, don't bash the original artist, bash me, because I'd rather take the hit than you going out of your way to like be mean to other artists. And I do not tolerate that type of stuff. I can just delete the comments. I can just delete a bad comment that I don't like, because in this day and age, like, spreading like a bunch more negativity doesn't help anybody. Okay, we got a little serious there. Maybe there's a media that I tapped into today that you would like to see more content on. If there is, like, just let me know. Just let me know. And I do want to know if you'd like to see me come back to this challenge eventually and try out some more art styles. And if you do, maybe you can even recommend me some that you would like to see. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.